Well, hello. This is A Goodman's Tale, and I am Joshua Goodman. Here at A Goodman's Tale, we talk about, well, guys, we talk about life. We talk about life's ups, downs, the nitty, the gritty. We tell stories, life's greatest victories, and our greatest tragedies. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most, I'll say exciting, challenging mission trips I ever took. Listen, if you are enjoying these podcasts, we ask that you would like, share, and subscribe. Help us get the word out to friends and family who might also enjoy these stories. Also, if you have a story to tell, please message us and let us know, because we'd love the opportunity, not just to tell the story, my story, or the story of our guests, but also the opportunity to tell your story. Well, let's get it. Border crossing. I can remember, wow. So my middle daughter, Taylor, has just turned 21. So that means it was before she was born. The year was 2000. My wife and I, Tony, Rebecca, and Serena, had moved to Haiti. This was, keeping in mind, before 9/11 and all the improved security of TSA. And so so many things, you could still walk out to the gate, watch your people come on the plane, get off the plane, all of that stuff. And we had moved everything, sold everything, and moved to a house we owned in the mountains of Haiti. A house that we had purchased when I had lived there as a child, a house we had owned since my first missionary days in Haiti. And so we move up there. We continue to do mission trips. We're continuing planting churches and schools and feeding programs. And as we're continuing to do that, those were some challenging days. If we had electricity would come on at like 2 or 3 in the morning and only stay on for 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Running water, if we had any running water, we had to fill up a cistern in order to to bring water into the house. And usually that cistern wouldn't hold water, so we had a 55-gallon barrel in the bathroom that we would use to boil and take showers with and flush the commode and all of those things. So needless to say, it was a very challenging time, very interesting time. I'll say this, it shaped mine and Amber's marriage and Tony, Rebecca, and Serena's lives, I believe, for forever. So we're scheduled to make a trip and to go from Kinskov, Haiti, and make our way around the southern portion of the island of Hispaniola, down through Port-au-Prince, Quadabuque, to the border of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And I want to just kind of give you the map. So we're here, right, in Kinskov, and we've got to drive down, and then we've got to head over, and then it actually end up curling around the island of Hispaniola and coming all the way up here. This is where our medical team was going to be. And what an adventure it was. So I had spent the weeks previous preparing everything, all the proper paperwork to drive our van across. You had to have things like a permit séjour, laissez-passer, getting all the paperwork properly done in order to make the crossing. The day finally came, that exciting day when we pack up our van, pack up our kids, and Junior, a good friend of mine and partner, was going to take me as far as the border, and then he was going to catch public transportation back. So we leave Kinskov, we drive down through the villages of Thomasin, Fairmont, down into Pétionville, still coming down the mountain, drive down Delma and Port-au-Prince, make our way to the airport, and thus around through Quadabuque and to the border town. I can't remember what the name of the border town was. We get to the border, assuming we've got all of our passports, we've got our laissez-passer, things, everything should be right, tight, and in order, good to go. Little did we know, right? So we go in, everything looks good with our passports. We get the stamp, get the signature, stamp, signature, stamp, signature. Then they start going through the paperwork for the key of Anne. And as it so happens, the department that we had to get the laissez-passer from, so that we could drive the vehicle over, the individual who had issued the permit had forgot to add their signature. It was stamped, it was ready to go, but we had no signature. Now, what does this mean? Now, normally I would have just, honestly, between you and I, back in those days, just tried to kick the border guard $20 and tell him to let me by. But I guess he had a superior there, and man, they just weren't having any of it. So here we are, we're stuck, right? We're meeting a mission team tomorrow. We're picking them up from the airport so we can do literally 7-8 days of clinics where we're going to be serving 700-800 people a day, 900 people a day, literally thousands of lives that we are fixing to be able to bless and give vitamins to children and pain medicine to those who are in pain. I mean, literally, guys, the list goes on and on. And here we are, we're stuck at the border between Haiti, the Dominican Republic, because we lack a signature. My first thought, we got a little bit of time. Let's just drive back into Port-au-Prince, a couple-hour drive. We'll see if it's open, or go to the department. Of course, we're traveling on what day? Yeah, Saturday. They're closed. The soonest I would be able to get that signature would be Monday. My team would have already arrived, and so just a mess, guys. And we have the van. We have it packed full, right? We've got all of our luggage. We've got medical equipment. And one of the funniest things we've got like, I want to say 4 or 5 the lawn trash bags, like the 55-gallon trash bags, black trash bags full of little medicine bottles. Thousands of medicine bottles that we were going to purchase medicine in the Dominican Republic, bring medicine in from the United States. We were going to fill up so we could donate to the individuals who come to our clinic. So as it turns out, here we are, we're stuck at the border and we're trying to figure out, what are we going to do? Well, the best case scenario, the day is weaning on, how are we going to do what we got to do what we got to do? Finally, Junior says to me, one of the things you can consider, I'll hook you up with some public transportation, negotiate a deal, and have the guy drive you into Santo Domingo, and from Santo Domingo you can make your way by bus back or all the way up to the Puerto Plata Sosua area. All right, man, let's go, let's do it. Takes us a couple of hours to get that public transportation. We get on this small bus, right, and load up our 5-6 huge bags of medicine bottles, the equipment we had, bags, everything ready to go. And we get on the road. The first town we're going to come to is the town of Barahona, but it's already late in the evening, already dark out. And man, guys, I'm going through this in my head, right? I'm like, it's another 3-4 hour drive. Once we get to Barahona to get to Santo Domingo, once I get to Santo Domingo, where are we going to stay? How are we going to make the rest of our way to Puerto Plata? What are we going to do? What are we going to do, right? And I'm just praying. I'm like, God, we got to figure this out. As it turns out, we are in a bus full of women, who are prostitutes. Unbeknownst to us at the time, when we hired or got on the bus, or that these girls were coming over in order to sell themselves. So my kids are, Tony's little, Rebecca's really little, and Serena's a baby, and literally these ladies are just loving my kids and hugging on them and all this kind of stuff. And come to find out, and the way we found out was kind of interesting, right? Because as we're crossing the border, we're stopped by checkpoints, and we all have to get off the van. And these soldiers with AKs, are checking everybody's papers. Of course, we're good to go, but these women are having to go through additional scrutiny and all of these things, and all of this stuff is just adding hours, getting later into the night. And we're just trying to figure out, what we're going to do. Finally, right? A few hours later, several checkpoints, babies being passed around by these nice ladies, but it is what it is, right? And finally, I'm toast. I'm like, there's nothing. I mean, I'm done. I'm finished. So I tell the guy he can keep the money that I had paid him to take us from the border to Santo Domingo, but just if there was a hotel in Barahona to take us and drop us at that hotel. It turns out he drops us at this like 5-star resort, right? Beautiful hotel. Luckily, I got a credit card. I'm gonna be able to have it covered. But here we are walking through this 5-star resort with, Beamers and Mercedes and just a beautiful place, carrying these trash bags. And by this time, the trash bags had started wearing out. So we're dropping medicine bottles as we're walking through the grounds of this resort. Oh, it was so fun. I can remember, we get checked in, medicine bottles and everything. And we got our room, but the kitchen had already closed. The dining room was closed down, and everybody was, cleaning up and packing up for the night. It was late. It was 11, 12 o'clock. But they did not reopen, but they did warm us up some food so that we could get a little something to eat after our weary day. Woke up the next morning and hit the streets. Had to, because by now our trash bags are just deteriorating. They got holes and bottles are falling out. So I go and I buy these duffel bags on the street. We fill all these, we literally 8-10 duffel bags full of these medicine bottles. I'm able to, again, hire now another driver that was not public transportation, but private transportation. And this guy's going to drive us from Barahona all the way up to Puerto Plata, Sosua area. Actually, no, we weren't staying in Puerto Plata. I take that back. We were in Santiago at the time. And we were going to be reaching out to the Batey areas and doing clinics amongst the Haitians there. So this guy picks us up in his van, has AC, the lap of luxury. We had gone through so much in the past 24 hours, from the border to not being able to cross, to not being able to bring our vehicle, to having, take this public transportation with these ladies of the night, having our kids sit on their laps and just, what an interesting time. We finally, after all of this, we make our way to Santiago. We meet with the missionaries there, and we start to prep for our clinic. Now, this is just the powerful news. We pushed through, right? We could have given up at any point and not accomplished what we had hoped to accomplish, but we had to push. And even after we pushed, we had to push some more, into a place of the unknown. We had never traveled. I had done the border crossing before, but I'd never done it on my own. I'd done it with my dad and other teams, and I'd done it with a man named David Stitt back in the day, but I'd never done it by myself, and all this stuff, and having to press, and finally we're able to get to the place that we need to be. We pick up our team, and we have just this powerful week of being able to see hundreds and hundreds of people every day. Again, bring vitamins to children who are malnourished, and pain medicine to little old ladies. I mean, it was just so heartwarming, right? To really, really, really see lives changed and people grow, and to be able to accomplish such powerful things. By the end of the trip, we'd seen probably 3,000 people whose lives had been changed. We saw healings and we saw miracles. We saw people receive Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior. Just so many powerful testimonies, but we would not have seen any of those powerful testimonies had we not pressed and pressed and pressed and pressed. Finally at the very end of the week, we take the team from Santiago up to the Sosua Puerto Plata area. And I'll never forget, time was like one of our mine and Amber's very first times doing this, right? And it was a thing where after working so hard, pressing so much, we stayed at a resort called the Heavens. And this was the first time we had ever been to Puerto Plata, to the Sosua area, stayed at a resort like this. We had stayed down at the place in Barahona, but literally that was a place that was so nice, so beautiful, but we had to sleep, wake up, pack up, and get to where we needed to go. So there was no enjoying of it. But I'll never forget staying in Heavens with my wife and eating our very first Magnum bar, which is an ice cream bar they sell in the Dominican Republic. They're just amazing. Being able to swim in the ocean. And Heavens literally was this sprawling resort that didn't just have the hotel and the beach, but it had these cobblestone walkways that had shops on either side, and ice cream parlors and little snack bars and regular bars, and just all painted in like Caribbean coral colors. Just beautiful, beautiful place. Wonderful, wonderful time. And being able to share that again with my wife, with my kids, to be able to enjoy after pressing and pressing and pressing, and knowing, right, that we're going to be going back to Haiti. The challenges of no electricity, no running water, they're right there. You know, these things are about to happen. And yeah, it was a good just breath of fresh air after the challenges, after the difficulties, after the pressing, after the helping. A good breath of fresh air to simply sit back and say, wow, okay, let's do it, you know? And so let me just share this, and I'll wrap up for today. If you've been pressing, don't stop pressing. Put your shoulder down, lean into this thing. If you've been going, don't stop going. Keep up the work. Keep going until when you say, how much longer am I going to have to keep going, keep doing these things until you get it done. There's always a way. Whether you're having to take public transportation through the borderlands of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, challenges, difficulties, you got medicine bottles falling out of trash bags, and you walk through the resort, keep going. Don't give up, because listen, what you will accomplish once you get to the place you're going, you'll look back and it will be worth it. You're going to say, man, that was hard. That was a challenge, but it was worth every minute of it. And listen, at the end of the day, right, after you keep pressing and pressing and pressing, if nothing else, you'll be like me and have a really great story to tell if you don't have anything else. Anyway, guys, that's about all the time I have for today. As always, like, share, subscribe. Let's get the word out there about what we're doing here at A Good Man's Tale. Until next time, let's go out there and live life with all we got.